What color were dinosaurs? And more specifically, the bigger dinosaurs got, did their colors become blander and just less coloration in general? Hey everyone, Mike here with Prehistoric Magazine. Welcome back to another video. Now, what a topic this is. Boy, oh boy, this is frustrating stuff. When you do research on this, you realize that there's only a couple or maybe three or four dinosaurs, very small, that have any bit of coloration preserved in the fossil record. And again, it's extremely frustrating. How can we think about prehistoric life? How can we think about dinosaurs if we don't know what color they are? I've spent so much of my life envisioning what color big sauropods were, what color the big predatory dinosaurs were, what color raptors were. And it's just incredibly frustrating that we just know so very little. Just like Dr. Grant said in Jurassic Park, the novel, we just know so very little. And again, I'll really be looking to you all in the comments section to leave your amazing comments. I've been getting some amazing comments on this channel, so thank you all for that. But I'll really be curious to hear what you have to say on this topic. Now, this is not necessarily the topic of what color were dinosaurs because there's just too many of them to even talk about, but it's more about the idea of, do we think as a group that as dinosaurs grew bigger, they became blander in coloration? Now, some theories for that possibly revolve around the fact that if you have young sauropods, let's say a young sauropod is born, it may blend in with its forest environment or with its jungle environment. It's going to blend in and try and have patterned or spotted colors so that it blends into the foliage. And that as it grew bigger over time, potentially it loses those patterns or those colorations that blended in with the forest, and it just kind of becomes more of a monotone color. Now, when we think about Prehistoric Planet, I think they did an excellent job in giving us realistic colors. You know, we didn't see any pinks, we didn't see any pink T-Rexes, we didn't see any pink sauropods, but what we did see were animals that seemed very lifelike, like the big elephants of today, the big rhinos, the big hippos. But as the camera drew closer, you started to realize that there was some, not only coloration, but just different patterns in very faint colors. Like, the tarbosaurs, they had base color brown, but just some hint of red here and there. And I thought it was really cool how they did that. Very believable. From afar, it looks just like a brown animal. But as you get up closer, you start to see that it's more than just that. And, when you look at Komodo dragons, kind of the same. You may think a Komodo dragon is kind of a dull gray or a dull brown, but when you get closer, there's going to be some greens, maybe even some light white mixed in. So there's going to be more coloration than you may think from afar. So as you get closer, a bit more coloration. I like to believe that's how dinosaurs were. Now, again, to the topic of this video, as things became bigger, taller, heavier, just all of the above, longer, do we think that they became blander in coloration? Think about elephants. They are that. I know they can come in a few different colors, but by and large, they're kind of just that monotone gray. As far as an elephant goes, there's not really much worked in, at least from what I've seen and what I've researched. Now, when you think about rhinos, they can be a black rhino, be a gray rhino. They have some coloration. When you think about Komodo dragons, you start to get a bit more. That's that beading that I talked about where, around the eyes, you may get different beaded color, different coloration around the eyes. If you think about hippos are kind of a brownish gray, but along the underside of the neck and almost down to the belly is kind of a pinkish color. I really like to look at rhinos because I like to think that maybe some sauropods shared that. Maybe the base of the sauropod, the back and the tail, was a single color, but maybe down the neck and all the way down to maybe the belly was kind of a really cool coloration. Maybe it could have been a light pinkish. We just don't know. A hippo is a pretty big animal, and if they're sporting pink, we just don't know. Now, again, predators like to blend in, and they can't necessarily be shown, because obviously they're hunting prey. So if they're shown, then that kind of gives away their location. Same with prey. They kind of want to blend into their location. So this is a very, very difficult question, and that's why I'm really hoping that you all will chime in with your amazing thoughts and opinions. I've truly been enjoying reading them. I've been enjoying responding back to them. And so far, the comment section has been the highlight of this channel for me. Likes are great. And of course, subscribing to the channel really helps me out. But the comments are what really has kept me going. Again, do we think that as dinosaurs became larger, they became blander and just single monotone colors? It makes good working sense to believe something like that. And in doing research for this video and in asking around on Twitter and online, a few of the people that I keep in touch with seem to think that maybe we wouldn't have seen such vibrant colors, but we would have seen patterns. And that kind of goes back to Komodo dragons. They have different patterns in their hides, in their skins. Same with alligators or crocodiles. As you get closer, the bellies probably are a little bit lighter than the back. So we have these different colorations and patterns. Again, really curious to hear your thoughts on this. It does make good working sense that as things become bigger, like elephants, like rhinos, like hippos, the big herbivores of today, that, we're going to probably get more solitary one color, maybe two worked in here and there. But again, love to hear your thoughts on this. Comment section down below. And thank you so much for all the support and the wonderful comments. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.